There was a girl I saw in my after hour club. I never saw her before. They hired her. She was drop dead gorgeous. I asked who she was. They were telling me. Because it would open 4 in the morning. I hardly ever went to it. So one night I saw her there and I asked, and they said, yeah, she's married to a guy. She's a drug addict. She's got 4 kids. She needs a job. That's why she's working late at night. So I put together $500 in an envelope. I said, give it to her as a tip, you know, when I leave. And don't keep her in the back. She was serving the drinks to the barmaids, you know, the waiters and waitresses. So she's not going to make no money up there. She's good looking. Let her stay at the front bar. She's going to make bigger tips, more tips, because she's good looking. And she'll make more of a living. So they called her to these meetings. And they questioned her. They said, Sammy paid you $500. So my man Huck must have told him. And she said, yes, he did. I remember that. And he got me a job in the front bar. What was he getting in return? Tell us. And she says, he's the only guy who ever gave me something and never asked for nothing in return. One of my guys grabbed her and said, this is what I want you to say about him. It was all really scummy shit that weren't true. And she said, but none of that's true. He says, we don't care. John Gotti's going to go on trial. Do you understand, Tony Ann? If you don't do this, they're going to kill you. And I can't stop it. There's nothing I could do about it. Now, you would think she'd come in and say, I was the worst disgusting human being on the planet. She didn't even come in. She went on the fucking lam because she refused to say those things about me. But that's how once in a while you'll hear some jerk off saying things about me. All of those things were made up in that room to make me look bad when I took the stand. So, and then this is how I found it all out, because Joe Watts would report every single person who came in. He'd go take a break and call the FBI. This one's in here. This is what happened. This is XYZ. And I was finding everything out. Oh, so that's another question and answer, I guess. So every once in a while, you know, somebody calls me gay. I wish I was a little gay, because the gay community is fucking huge. Yeah, maybe I'd have another extra 100,000 people watching me. But I can't confess to that. But because I'm not. All right, go ahead.
Well, you can't be successful if you don't have haters.
I know. You need the gators.
Exactly. Haters gonna hate. Okay, let's go to TikTok. This is from Aunt V. Her question is, what was the average cost for a hit back in the day?
There is no cost. When you're in the Mafia, you're ordered to do something, whether you're an associate, a maid guy, captain, underboss, whatever you are. When you're told to do a hit, you do a hit. We don't pay for hits. They did years ago under Lucky Luciano with the Jewish Mafia. They paid them on occasion. And they did a lot of work for the Mafia. But that's all they did. So in my time, there was no such thing as paying for, you know, hits.
Next question on TikTok. This one is from Jimmy. Jimmy would like to know, did the Rampers ever have a leader/captain, and were there any crews in the Rampers?
Well, the Rampers was one crew. There was a leader. There was a guy named Jerry Papa. He was a tough guy. He was a leader. He did a few things that nobody liked. They took him down. They voted. I became the leader. It's not a mob family. This is a gang. When I was a kid, it wasn't a mob family. It was a gang. And I became the leader of the Rampers after Jerry Papa was taken down. But he was the first leader of the Ramper Juniors. Now there was the Ramper Seniors, the Ramper Junior Rampers, and then there was the midgets. We were the midgets. Now it has nothing to do with my height, but we were the midgets, the small guys. So there was different groups of us.
Not a question, but a comment from Victoria on TikTok. She says, your storytelling ability is truly amazing. Wishing you and your whole family many blessings.
Thank you so much. And blessings to you and your family as well.
ABH on Instagram says, hey, Sammy, can you please answer my question? What was your relationship like with Frank Locascio?
I had a great relationship with him. I mean, he was a Bronx guy. I wasn't from the Bronx. I got to know him years later when we both were elevated in positions, but I got along with him very, very good.
Next Instagram question is from the Lion of Judith. Did you ever meet Frank Costello?
No, he was way before my time.
Back into the super chat, we have World Weather Authority. Good to see you, Sammy. Did you know anyone with the last name Poletti? That is my family's original name from the Calabria region of Italy. God bless.
Thank you. The name is familiar, Poletti. I'm not sure. I can't recall a person. The name is familiar, but I don't know. And what part of Italy?
The Calabria region.
Oh, the Calabrians. They're hardheads. Hardheads, the Calabrians. I'm Sicilian. My whole family's background is Sicilian. So that's a different part of Italy. And I don't know them.
I have Michelle in your super chat. Watching from Italy, big fan. Aldo Arco said you guys had beef and you were avoiding him. What's your take on that? And did you know the Luccheses were plotting?
They had a hit on me. It's one of the hits that was supposed to come down in Gargiulio's restaurant, and it never happened. And he was behind that hit. I didn't avoid him. I wasn't crazy about him. I didn't like him. One of the things that happened, I had a serious beef with him. They killed the maid guy in their family. I knew the guy well. John Gotti knew the whole family. My daughter knows part of the families, the daughter who survived. Gaspipe had a bad habit when he wanted to kill a guy, especially a maid guy. He made them put a canary in the guy's mouth, meaning that he's an informant. Now, it was not true. He was not an informant. That's the way he's getting away with hitting a maid guy for no reason. He didn't have a good reason. So he puts this bullshit story on the guy. And after that, they went to the family who survived, were legitimate people, but street people. They knew her people. And trying to shake them down for money. John Gotti sent me over to Al and I went over to Al and I said, listen, with the guy you killed, that's your business, that's your family. I said to him, Al, I know the guy personally, he was no fucking rat, but that's your business. I can't discuss it with you, I can't argue it, but you do what you got to do. I said, but the family are legitimate people. John Gotti sent me here to give you, I was the underboss, a message, Al, to leave them the fuck alone. He says, right now I'm running the family, I'm the boss. I said, no. You're a piece of shit. You're a captain. I'm an underboss. I shouldn't even be talking to you. But John is a boss, and he's sending you a fucking message. Stay the fuck away from that family. If you got any money coming, we don't want it, we'll give it to you, but stay away from them. They're legitimate people. And don't let me come back with another fucking message. Right after that, Aldo Arco got in trouble with Gaspipe and Vic. They were on the lam. He was an acting boss, running the family with two other people on a committee. He was still a captain. He wasn't even an underboss or consigliere or nothing. And that was the argument I had with him. And when he got scared that he was holding back money, he was having a problem with Gaspipe. He knew me and Gaspipe had a very close relationship. I was trying to make an appointment with him again, and he was worried that I was going to take him out. He flipped from his house. He called the police department, bring agents, bring this, bring that. I'm going to flip from my house. Him and his son. His son, I think, was a May guy too. The two of them flipped and left for the program and never came in. So, yes, I didn't get along with him. I didn't like him. And he was a fucking half pint. I'm a half pint. He was a quarter of a pint. And with a fucking weird attitude. To fuck with legitimate people. We don't do that. You killed a guy. Now you're going to fuck with his family and try to shake them down? We didn't like it. And we put our foot in it. And Big Louis Valerio was with me. He was a captain when I had that meeting. Everybody moved out of his club. I banged the fucking chair so hard that his guys got up, we're going to go in. Louis said, just sit the fuck down out here. Don't move. And when I came out, I walked back to the club to John with Big Louis, and he said, Sammy, what did you do? I told him the argument. I said, I was so frustrated. I took the fucking wooden chair we were sitting on, and when I was get up, I smashed the fucking chair. I hit it, but it smashed. It fell apart. And when I got back, I told John Gotti, and he said, listen, this fucking guy, I know the family good. And that's what the answer he gave you. He's the boss. The next time you go back there, if I tell you to go back there, I'm not going to tell you, give him a message. I'm going to tell you to blow his fucking brains out. So he was very leery of me and scared of me. And then he set up a hit on me. He was going to kill me and Big Louie going to Giulio's restaurant. But it never came off. There's a lot of reasons. I won't get into the whole story right now, but it didn't come off. God saved me again. I was shot twice. I lived. And this thing, if I would have went to the restaurant, I would have got killed. Matter of fact, two guys who were on the hit, when I went to prison, I met them. The guy came in, he was in a witness unit. And he came over, he was all shy and nervous. So I said, listen, don't be nervous. I did the same thing as you, flipping. What happened? And he said, Sammy, let me tell you what happened in Giulio's. We had about 6, 8 guys, 10 guys. We all armed. As soon as you and Louis walked in, you came to the back, we were going to just open up shots on you and blow you away. But you just never showed up. And it's not that I knew that there was a hit. There was a lot of agents that day around me, and I didn't want to go to a meeting with all of these fucking agents following me. I don't know. God saved me from that meeting. So, all right.
Okay, back in the super chat, I have comment from Finn. Love, respect from Ireland, and I'm a recovering addict.
My hat's off to you, bro. That's what you got to do. Listen, we all make mistakes. There's no problem becoming an alcoholic or a drug addict or anything. But a recovering guy, you saw your path, and stay on that path, stay strong, and you sound like a good guy. And I love when people admit, I'm almost the same thing. I'm not an addict. But becoming a born-again Christian is like the same thing. I've changed my life. So that's exactly what you're doing. You want to take another step? Become a born-again Christian, bro. It'll give you a lot of help. So I'm glad you changed your life. Stay strong, bro. If I ever come to Ireland, I want to bunk into you and be with you and hang with you a little bit. I love Ireland. I love the pictures in Ireland. I love a lot of Irish guys. I was friendly with a lot of Irish guys. Yous are all a little fucking nuts, but I guess so are we. But, all right, bro.
Steve Jackson in the super chat. Hey, Sammy, was Angelo Ruggiero really as dumb as DB suggested with his all balls, no brains comment? And why was he called Quack Quack?
He was all balls, a lot of balls, and no brains. Yes. Why was he called Quack Quack? Everybody thinks because he talked too much. No. He was pigeon-toed. His feet came in. So when he walked, he was walking like a duck. And that's where he originally got the name as a kid. But later on, everybody broke his balls because he talked too much.
Okay, back in the super chat.
Now that I'm on these programs, I might be able to wind up with that label. I don't talk too much. Quack, quack. Sammy, quack, quack. All right, I'll take that.
Steppy Burnwick. Sammy, do you remember comedian Pat Cooper and his prank on you guys pretending to bully John Gotti at Terramino's?
I don't remember his prank about bullying but I remember the name. I knew the name as far as he was a comedian, and I didn't know that he did that. But yeah, I knew who he was.
J. Marie in the super chat. Boss, I recently produced and directed a documentary about crypto in Vegas, and it was very hard work. What are 1 or 2 things that have surprised you about the film industry and production?
And production? It's a tough area. I mean, they'll hire you, they'll drop you, they'll do all kinds of things for weird stuff. It's a tough area. It's dog eat dog. It's a tough area. When you get into it, it could be a beautiful area and a good thing, but there's definitely a lot of steps you got to take to go ahead. I've been working on trying to do a movie, a scripted show, and a few things for a long time. I'm really not there yet. I'm still trying, but I'm not there yet. I know Michael Franchise started doing all this talking stuff 8 years before me. He's been trying years to get into a movie. Can't get in. And there's so many guys. I got people sending me scripts and things and they have good stories that they're asking me to help them get a movie made or a scripted show made for television. And it's really, really hard. There's a lot of talented people who can't get in. There's a lot of actors and actresses who never really make it. And they're talented, a lot of them, really good. I have a friend of mine. I did the Salvatore, a movie. Her name was Melissa. I had hired her. She was going to be in the show. She was good. She was tremendous. But it's a very long road. It's, you need the breaks, or 1 break or 2 breaks or 3 breaks to get in. Amina actually acts too. I think she's a Nazi German officer or something. No,
That's not my role.
She acted in a thing. You all saw Sicario. It's about the Mexicans and their hitmen. She was in a thing, Sicaria, women's thing, where they're hitmen, and they gave her all kinds of artificial tattoos and stuff. I seen her one fucking day. She was tattooed from foot to her head. I said, "What the hell is all that? Those are real?" I didn't know if she went to she said, "No, I could wash them off. It's a bitch getting them off, but she's supposed to wear all those tattoos, and she's a hit woman." I'm going to do independent movies, whether I do a scripted show or movies or independent movies, and you'll probably see her in there. She likes to act, and she's good. So down the road, but acting is, and even being a producer and all this stuff is really, really hard. You got to catch a good break, and that's the way it is. I talked to the kid who played me in the movie there. What's the movie?
Witness to the Mob.
Witness to the Mob. And, he's been trying. He's a good actor. He's been trying a long time. He's going to be in a movie. I'm going to give him a little thing. The Pizza Delivery Guy or something. And that's coming out soon. And he's acting in that. So if you ever want to see him. What was his name again?
Nick Turturro, and it's called Delivering Happiness. It's out now.
It's out now? All right. She knows better than me. Nick Turturro.
Delivering Happiness.
Delivering Happiness, and she's the pizza delivery guy. I didn't see it yet. I didn't even know it's out yet, but I'm gonna watch it soon.
It's on YouTube. It's free.
It's on free on YouTube? Okay. So he deserves a break to get a good part. He played me in a movie, but they didn't give him no information or nothing, so it was hard to play me. So, it's a tough business. It really is a tough business.
Okay, I have Alucard. Hey, Sammy, my friend wants to dye her hair blue. Can I hire you to do the job?
I tell you the truth. If she wants to dye it blue, I could probably do that easy because I was a fuck up in that school. I couldn't do anything right. I dyed her hair, a woman's hair blue by accident. Old woman, they have white, silvery hair. You put this bluish tint in it, and it gives it some highlights. They didn't tell me. I put it right out of the bottle, and her head turned sky blue, and I couldn't even get it out. And so I wasn't good at what I did. That was like a scam to me. I did that whole thing. And then there was 600 girls in the school and about 12 guys. And 4 of them were straight. The other ones were gay. So when I heard that, I joined the school right away. Sounds good to me. 600 girls and there's only 4 of us that are straight. So, and I had fun doing it. I made some money. I just got out of the military. It was like a job. The military paid for the school, plus I was able to get 2 and change, almost $300 a month, like unemployment, but it wasn't unemployment. It was another check to go to school. So going to school, they paid for the school. I had $300. My friend got me in, and I did it. Louis Bolito did it too.
Okay, Il Gatto in the super chat. Salut, zu Sammy. Why was Mr. Angelo Bruno, the boss of Philadelphia, hurt?
Why was he hurt? All right. Grazie. I mean, he's saying hurt, and he got killed. And he's talking, he's another gangster. My man El Gato. He's not a gangster, but he's a gangster. And he hurt. It was a good terminology. Guys wanted to take over. He was a good boss. They called him the Gentle Don because he wasn't bloodthirsty. Everybody was eating. Everybody was making money. But greedy people under him he didn't want no drugs. He wanted to take him out so they could start dealing drugs and they could start making big money, serious money. And that's basically why they killed him. It was a shame. And he had a tremendous reputation. But, and Genovese people talked to greedy guys in the Philadelphia mob, gave him a wink and a nod, do what you got to do over there. And they did. They killed him. And that's what started that whole war. With Johnny Keys, was Angelo Bruno's cousin. Very smart, very treacherous. 50 hits under his belt. He tried to take it over. The underboss was trying to take it over, Phil the Chicken Man Tester, and he was killed. And that's when Nicky Scarfo was on one side against Johnny Keys. And that war broke out, and they were killing people left and right, but neither side could win. And that's where the commission, the 5 families in New York, ruled that Nicky Scarfo should win. And Paul wound up getting the contract. He gave it to me. And the Mission Impossible, I got it done. Simple.
Okay, we got a couple more super chats and then we got to wrap it up. Well-known local says, Sammy, if you planned the hit on Paul Castellano, why was none of the shooter guys on your crew like all of the other hits? Why were they all Gotti's guys?
First of all, this wasn't my responsibility. I didn't get caught on drug conversations. I wasn't in the drug business. It was him and fucking fat ass Angelo. So why should I put my guys on a fucking hit in the middle of the street, which was going to be insane? I'm enough. I'm on the hit. I'm planning the hit. John is my driver. Frankie's going to be on the hit because he's making the appointment. The rest of the people should be your people, not mine. That's why.
Brian Mack says, is there a downside to being made, like extra headaches and responsibilities?
Oh, without a doubt. Listen, when the federal government finds out you're a made guy, it's not going to be a secret for a long time. You got a target on your back, just with them alone. They look at you completely different. They want to take you out. And then you got to start following these rules. Are important. Sometimes you can make a mistake without being a made guy, and they'll blow it off as a mistake. But when you're a made guy, you don't want to make mistakes, because they'll kill you for your mistakes. So there's a little bit of a tough thing. Listen, everybody knows when they make you, they say you come in and you go out. You walk in the door, you walk in, and then when you go, you can go feet first, meaning you're dead. That's how you're walking out. And then there's the oath that you have to abide by and live by. And it's not that easy of a life. I got over 22 years of my life in prisons. I got all kinds of fucking hits and things that are like scars on me. I don't like them. I'm not proud of them. There's good things, there's bad things, and there's fucking ugly things. And when you're in that life, you're going to be part of it. And you're going to be lucky to get out without getting your head blown off sooner or later. Whether it's somebody's backstabbing or jealousy, envy, there's a lot of skanky shit in there. There's a lot of good things, a lot of good people, but there's a lot of bad. I guess it's in every life, but in the mob, Diane Sawyer once asked me a question. It sounds like high school. I said, yeah, you could send spitballs at each other in high school or college, but over here we didn't use spitballs, we used bullets. It's not a game. So, and Diane Sawyer, I think she loved that answer.
Okay, really the last question, then you can take us out. Joe Russo says, hey, Sammy, from 18th Ave here. Did you know and have any stories about Petey Red from the West Side, downtown Manhattan?
I know the name. I don't know the guy. I hardly even remember his face, but I do know the name. And no, I don't think I had anything to do with him. I would have remembered him. But the name I heard, Petey Red. But I think he might have been with the Genovese family. I'm not sure. But because I never really dealt with him. So with that.
Give a quick shout out to Timmy Main, who just kicked up to you in Super Chat. Timmy Main.
Timmy Main? Yeah. All right, Timmy. Listen, guys, I have to go now. I'm going to go and get, look at this, bro. You can't see it there. I had a surgery on my hand. The stitches, just took off the bandages and shit. So I got to do a few little bullshit things and go by the doctor. So adios, motherfuckers.